Episode 10. I cannot believe that we're here. It does not even feel real that we've done 10 episodes. It's like hitting mile 10 in a half marathon, and you've come so far. But here's the thing, the finish line for me in Be Real is not the goal. It's all about the momentum. I felt like it was just right. It was going to be the perfect time to really talk about my journey. And we're going to focus this episode on my weight loss and my mindset and the shifts and the changes that I've made and how it's truly become a lifestyle change. What better time than episode 10? 10's kind of like when you feel like you're not little anymore and you're officially in those double digits. Let's be real. It's also the first time you really start questioning life choices. So what better time to talk about my journey? Welcome back to Be Real, the place where we unpack my messy, unfiltered journey through life so you don't have to make the same mistakes I did. Whether it's weight loss, mindset, or just navigating the chaos in between, I am glad you're here. Let's get real. Before we dive in, I want to remind everyone this is my personal walk through life. So what I'm sharing is my experience, and it may not be the same for everyone. So please, if anything I talk about today is triggering or it brings up emotions, please seek out professional help. Also, if this is not your vibe, that's okay. Be well, but I'll see you next week because today is real life, no fluff. It's going to be heart to heart, emotional, physical, and how I started to peel myself out of survival mode. But again, this episode might not be for everyone. So if you're still in that kind of mood where you're looking for the quick fixes, the easy results, you might want to hit pause, go grab a snack, maybe a cookie, or don't, and go on with your day. But if you want to choose to stay here and learn how I was able to shift from those quick fixes into a lifestyle change, then let's dive in. First, I want to paint the picture for you guys. Back when I was a kid, so I would say like a normal kid. I was never like a big kid, but I was never the skinniest kid either. But I started binge eating at an early age. My parents divorced as an early elementary, and not to put any blame on parents at all. This is my life, my choices, my decisions. They did the best that they could in the time that they were living and the situation that they were in. Just like any parent, anybody in life, we are always doing the best that we can in the situation that we're in. This is, again, my story, and that is part of it. So, no blame at all on anybody. So, growing up, I was at home quite a bit by myself, and that's kind of really where the binge eating started. I literally, like Chris Farley would say, grab bear claws, 2 at a time. And I would eat and eat and eat, never being satisfied. I was pretty athletic. I would go outside all the time and play. I also played in a lot of sports. So that helped maintain, I would say, my physique. There again, I was never a big kid, but I was never the skinny kid either. And moving into high school, I was the person with the diet plans, except I was more like diet plans with zero follow through. I didn't know it at the time, but I was setting myself up for a lifetime struggle of dieting, restricting, and then binging. You know, like those fun games of Tug-of-War with my own body and mind. And at the time, I blamed the diets. Oh, this is the diet. It's not working. But let's be real. It's all about what was going on in my mind. Even with me playing sports, When I would play sports, I always wanted to be better. I always wanted to be doing more and get better at things and put more effort in. I needed to be better, run faster, shoot better, block better. Whatever the circumstance was, it was always about never being enough and always needing to do more. Going back to that mindset. And those behaviors, well, they didn't just go away. They just got better at hiding in my 20s. In my 20s, there was this short little time when I was probably in the best shape of my life when I was on the fire department and I worked out all the time. Here's the catch though. Although I was in the best shape of my life, I mentally was probably in one of the worst places because I, at that point, was binging in secret so terribly and would hardly eat anything in front of anybody. And if I did eat in front of anybody, that guilt and that shame of eating in front of somebody felt so disgusting. You could almost hear my body screaming, "What you're doing is not good. This is not it." I thought if I could just restrict hard enough, I'd be happy. That never works. After my 20s, I started to slowly go back into my old habits and I started to gain weight again. And then I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm gaining weight, lose. And then I would gain even more. And I got to this place and I did this challenge and I really changed. I changed a lot in this time frame. It was, I probably did it for about 90 days. Here was the catch with this. I was still stuck in this all or nothing mentality. And if I messed up just one time, that was it. My integrity was gone. Like I would be done with it all then. Like all of that hard work, all of that, those perfect days for the whole 90 days that I was perfect, that one mess up ruined everything. And this is where my mindset was. And here's the thing. I could never see the pattern until it was too late. And losing weight felt like a merry-go-round. I'd get close to a better weight that I felt good, and then I would just fall off and gain it all back again, and then some. So it was just this never-ending battle. It's just a cycle. And then you just live in shame. You live in this guilt, and your mind is just fucking with you because you're sick of feeling this way. And now I'm the one who's messing up. I'm the screw up. It's like I always jump in the deep end only to find myself completely drowning. It is seriously the world's worst game of let's make a lifestyle change, but also completely sabotage ourselves simultaneously. I just knew there had to be something different. I was at the heaviest I have ever been in my entire life. Like I looked in the mirror and I was fucking disgusted with myself. How could I allow myself to get like this? I hated myself. I didn't even want to be in my own skin. But here's where things started to change. No more going in circles. I needed something more, something real. Here's what a lot of people, or I don't actually, I shouldn't even say that. Here's what I haven't talked enough about. I finally asked for help. And you know what? It started with a friend who told me about a doctor and said, hey, you know what? You should go talk to this doctor. I think that she could really help you. And you know what? That friend and those words are why I am where I am today. So thank you. Thank you, friend. So if you need a friend, I'm here for you right now to tell you it is okay to ask for help. In fact, this journey is so lonely. It is so fucking hard. You should never do this journey by yourself. And asking for help does not make you weak. I don't know where in our lives, somewhere we have it in our minds that asking for help made us this lower version of ourselves. Like, we're not able to handle it ourselves, so that makes us weak. We are allowed to ask for help, and it's okay. I'm going to dive in a little bit to this doctor and how she's helped me. First, I want to tell a little story, because the first time I walked in there, we exchanged some other words, but one of the things she says to me, "Are you able to weigh your food and start tracking it so we know where you're at?" And I looked at her like, "Girl, this is exactly what I don't freaking want in my life." And bless her heart, she is so patient. She was so kind. Guys, I started with not judging my food, good or bad. That's it. Can you imagine being able to look at an Oreo and look at an apple? It's just an Oreo. It's just an apple. That's literally what she told me. Trust me, when I first heard this, I'm like, okay, this is new. I have not processed this before, but this is good because I need something different. What I have been doing obviously is not working, so this is good. Okay, I'm going to listen to her. The other thing she told me, she asked me how I'm eating. Whatever I see, I eat. It's pretty much what I told her. She says, focus on just eating 3 meals a day. Go back to the basics of life. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 3 meals. This part's key. In those 3 meals, eat protein. That's what I focused on. I focused on this for months. I'm talking months. I failed. I'd get back up and I'd try it again. I fail. I'd get back up and I'd try it again. Through this process, I never gave up. I kept going. I didn't see physical results for months. Here's what started to shift my thought process around food. And that was the first time in my life where I almost at this point, I was almost there, started to see freedom in food. I'm like, okay, I might be onto something here. So I started to really trust her. And I know a lot of people talk about GLP-1s and medications. And with her, we started with the basics. And we started with Topermate, which if you want to get into it, you guys can go look up what that is. But a simple explanation in the way that I can relay it is, honestly, it's a medication for chronic headaches is really what it's for, but it also helps rewrite brain waves. The other medication was phentermine. That one, I am like on the lowest dosage of that. And basically it is like what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my gosh, what is the word I'm looking for? A suppressant. That's the word I'm looking for. It is a suppressant, and it like the lowest dose. And the other one is a metformin. And again, lowest dose possible. And that one is actually for type 2 diabetes, which helps stabilize blood sugars. So those are the 3 medications that I'm on. It's not a GLP-1, which I don't have anything against GLP-1s or anything like that. Just full transparency here. Be real, right? And these medications, as I was talking to her the other day, I really do believe that they have helped stabilize my hormones a lot, which brings me to my next point. She also told me to go see a gynecologist. Thank God. My gynecologist got me on Slind, which is like a form of birth control, basically. But I basically was diagnosed with PCOS and endometriosis. So with all of these medications, that also has helped. These are not quick fixes. This isn't going to solve anything, but these are all tools that have helped stabilize my blood sugars. They've helped stabilize some brain waves. So I'm not on these super highs and super lows. It's been what's working really well. Everybody's so different. Go seek out help. The last thing she did was recommended a therapist. Oh, Heather. She has been a godsend. She has changed my perspective on so many things in life. If anybody is looking for a therapist or needs somebody to talk to, I highly recommend her. I will actually put her information in the show notes for you guys because she is no joke. She's the real deal. So a little bit about Heather. One of the things that she really broke down for me and something I still use to this day: acknowledge, challenge, rewrite. When it comes to my thoughts, a huge part of my healing and learning process was acknowledging my thought, challenging it, and then rewriting the story. It might sound simple, but you guys, this shit works. I'm telling you. When I would start to feel overwhelmed or stuck or like in this negative thinking, I'd stop. I'd acknowledge the thought and I'd ask myself, is this really true? Or is this just like an old story I've been telling myself? So for example, I used to think I'm lazy because I left dishes in the sink. But now I challenge that thought. I'd ask myself, is this true? Am I actually lazy because I didn't do the dishes? Or because there's a couple of things in the sink? Is that me being lazy? Or is this just an old programming that I've carried around? Then I would learn to rewrite it. This is what that would look like. Stacia, leaving the dishes in the sink does not make me lazy. I'm just human. And I would tell that to myself over and over again. Leaving the dishes in the sink doesn't make me lazy. I'm just human. And it's okay. I am not lazy. I'm just not in the dishwashing mood. And that's okay. Like, rewrite the story. Take that with you, because I'm telling you, it works. When you want to go work out and you tell yourself, oh, I don't have time, challenge that thought. Do you really not have time? And then rewrite the story. You know, I do have 5 minutes. And working out is important to me, so I'm going to give myself that 5 minutes. Acknowledge the thought, challenge the thought, and rewrite the story. I want to close with a quote from Snoop Dogg that really resonated with me. You guys can laugh all you want, but he was giving a speech and he said thank you to everyone. Because all the people who have helped me get to where I am right now. And just like Snoop Dogg, he said thank you to everybody. And then he stopped and everybody thought that he was done. They started to clap and he goes, I want to thank me. I want to thank me for all the hard work that I've put in. I want to thank me for always showing up. I want to thank me for being consistent. I want to thank me for all the late nights that I showed up. I want to thank me for putting in the time. And honestly, that rings so true. It is so easy to give credit to everyone else around us, which they deserve, but don't forget about who's putting in the work. This journey is about those small, sustainable steps, not just those quick fixes. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, even through those failures. It's about honoring the process, about honoring your progress, no matter how messy it feels. So here's what I want you to take away today. It is okay to ask for help. It is okay to take things slowly. It is okay to be imperfect. The key is showing up for yourself every day, imperfectly and consistently. Even if all you have to give is 1% that day, that's your 100% for the day. Those small wins add up. Trust me, I've seen it firsthand. Always be real.